First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahawah Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Habakakwadash. Those are the names of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly called God, and Jesus Christ, whose correct and proper names are Yahawah and Yahawashi in the name of the Holy Spirit. I would also like to give a double honors unto my apostles and elders of Great Millstone that have taught me this truth. And I would like to say a sincere shalom unto the hopeful elect that are scattered throughout the four winds of the world, unto the servants, the prophets, the men that are prophesying and laboring in this truth and in this doctrine unto you. I say shalom. What's the main controversy with the 12 tribes chart? And the main controversy with the 12 tribes chart is it's not all inclusive. It's exclusive, and it only pertains to a certain sect of people, okay, which consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and also the Israelites that are scattered amongst these other nations. But that's the main issue everyone has. All right, mainly, yeah, you could say 2/3 of our own people and everyone else. You know, the vocabs, the Christian apologists of the world. If the 12 tribes chart broke down and said this, the Moabites go here, and the Chinese or the so-called white man's on the 12, it would be okay. They wouldn't accept it because it's coming from us, but they would be more open. But this is not the 12 tribes chart, the 12 tribes of Israel is not open to everyone. And that's what the main issue that a lot of people that come against the chart, have with it. All right. And the chart was formulated through the spirit of Yahawashi by High Priest Ariah. Through the spirit. All right. We believe that these are the tribes, and these are on the right side, these are the tribes on the left side, and on the right side, these are who these tribes are today through the spirit. We don't know, okay? We know that, through the spirit that we are the children of Israel. All right, we know that we're if you can clearly see that we're different from these other nations. All right, we're special, even though we're at a low state right now. We're still special in our low state. All right, it shows, and not just in the sports arenas and in everything. All right, it shows that we are the children of the Most High. All right, and the elect will see it. All right, the elect will see and understand this, but the rest of the world, even 2/3 of our people, were blinded. They're blinded by the science. All right, by they're not spiritual. They're looking for they want to trace your DNA and all of that shit. Man, we can't trace our heritage all the way back to the ancient world. All right, no one can. All right, but it's through the spirit that we know who we are today. All right, but like I said, the main controversy is it's not open to everyone. It's exclusive. Okay, only for a specific people, and that's who you ignorantly call blacks. All right, Latinos. Okay, Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and Haitians and Cubans, Mexicans. Those are the children of Israel. But we've been scattered, of course. But they put these labels, these proverbs, these bywords on our people. So we don't know who we are today. Okay, but through the spirit of Yahawashi, we're waking up unto who we are, and hey, we're putting the Lord is putting His name back on us, Yahshua, through the spirit. So let me grab some precepts real quick, and then I just put the chart up there because when people look at the chart and they don't see the so-called whites, all right, so-called Chinese or Indians, East Indians or whatever, they get offended. They say, "Oh, this is off. This can't be right." Hey, we'll see, okay? And you're clearly seeing, okay, who the people are and who's not the people, okay? Because if the small hatter was on there, it would be all right. But they're not. They're not. They're not Yahawah, okay? All right, so let me hop into some scriptures real quick. Because as knowledge comes out, let me grab this real quick. Daniel 12 and verse 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. And knowledge is being increased. We're waking up unto who we are. All right, we're waking up and we're realizing that black is a color. All right, that Puerto Rican means rich port. Okay, and we're waking up into who we are as a nation, as a people. All right, and that's what's scaring these devils. That's what's scaring these Christians. That's what's scaring everyone. All right, because we're waking up and we're claiming the name Yasharallah, Israel again. Okay, we're coming back to our heritage. All right, it was all right if we can, if we continue to say we were black. All right, we were Negro. All right, we're Native American. We were indigenous. We were all these proverbs and bywords that was said in the curses that we would be. That was all right when we were at the bottom. But as we continue to rise up, all right, not spiritually, all right, these devils can't handle it. All right, when Jake walked by and they see that they're on the chart, hey, that does something. That makes Jake, the at least the hopeful elect, okay? Because Jake will walk by and see the sign and won't think nothing of it. They just say, and keep on going. But the hopeful elect, that's going to do something and create something within them to make them feel a sense of pride that, shit, I belong to something. I'm a part of something, and I could be a part of something special, which is ultimately the elect. All right, so let me, damn, I'm all over the place. Let me grab this real quick. Psalms 147, and I'm going to start at verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. So the Lord, that's clearly showing the Lord is only dealing with, only showed his word to Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Okay, that in Israel, Jacob's name was changed to Israel after he wrestled with the angel in the book of Genesis. Read in there. But Israel represents today the 12 tribes, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, but he showed his word. He gave his law, statutes, and commandments only to Jacob. All right, this is Deuteronomy, the chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 3. I'll start at verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my power commanded me, that ye should go do them in the land whether you go to possess it. Therefore keep them and do them, for this is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations. I thought it was for everyone. That's what the Christians say. It's for everyone. The Lord said, no, keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. This is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations. This is what separates us, that keeps us holy from these other nations. Okay? All the nations not on this chart. Okay? All the nations can't follow these laws. They can't follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. All right, because they weren't meant for them. Okay, these laws, statutes, and commandments, all right, were specifically written for us to follow in a proper and righteous way for us to conduct ourselves here on earth. Okay, and it's that remnant that is going to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments and begin to follow them to the best of their ability. And then in the kingdom of heaven, we're all going to be righteous. We're all going to get it right. Okay, but right now we're practicing the righteous acts, all right, which begins with repenting, all right, turning away from our sins, all right. The heathens can't do that, all right. The heathens, they especially the Edomite, they go off, all right. They're programmed to go off. They're not programmed to follow these laws, not necessarily programmed, but they're not. They have they're brute beasts, okay. They have no direction. They have no instructions. We were given specific instructions, by the Heavenly Father, all right, to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, and this will be our wisdom in the sight of the nations, all right, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. That's how the nations are supposed to be looking at us, because we follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, okay, but, we fell away, all right, we sinned, first and foremost, following after other gods, worshiping other deities, okay, and the Lord punished us. The Lord, gave us this captivity that we're this sentence that we're currently serving, okay. But our time is almost up, all right. Where you're gonna the valley of dry bones, all right. The breath is the Lord is breathing life back into us through this word, all right, through these prophecies, okay. verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this is a great nation and a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who have the Most High Yahawah so nigh unto them, as the Lord our power in all things that we call upon him for? Okay, so hey, the nations are supposed to look at us and say, the Lord is nigh unto these people. The nation's not doing that right now. Okay, the nations are looking at us, just like, hey, like we act. The majority of us act like niggas, man. This is Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. Back to, the Lord exclusively dealing with Israel. This is Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord. Hear the word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel. It's the Lord speaking against the children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought out of the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. You only have I known. All right. The Lord is only dealing with Israel and has always only dealt with Israel. The covenants, all right, the promises were never opened up to any other nation. All right. Contrary to what people say about open up to the Gentiles. No, those Gentiles in the New Testament were Israelites, okay, that were living in a Gentile state of mind. They fell away. We all fell away. All right. We were all scattered. All right, we were all Gentiles at one point. All right, following after the ways of America, following after the ways of Esau, democracy, all these things that we thought were the right way, was a right path to live. We all fell off. All right, so we were all Gentiles at one point. Okay, so but that's what that's what having a spiritual mind and a carnal mind. Okay. A carnal person is going to think that, oh yeah, that's for everyone, because the world pushes that narrative that John 3:16 narrative. Oh, God so loved the world. All right. But we know through the Spirit that doesn't mean that. And it even says it in the concordance. All right. We know the word goes back to cosmos, which is a specific sect. All right. Harmonious arrangement, which is talking about Israel. All right, and if you look in the Bible, it's several different. The word "world" comes up several times, but in the Greek, it's only it's two different meanings. One means oikomene, which means the whole entire world, and the other one is cosmos, which means a specific sect of people. Okay, but like I said, the carnal man is going to just go with what they feel right, go with the world feels right, versus the spiritual man, which is going to look into these things, and the Lord is going to sup with them and guide them through the Spirit to the right answers. All right, this is actually, let me grab this. Jeremiah 31 and 1, I think 31 and 1. At that same time, saith the Lord, I will be the power of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. This is when we return. All right, hey, we're returning now, okay, and it says, of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. All right, this is in the kingdom, okay, where we're going to return, return, and all Israel is going to be saved, as it says in the book of Romans, the 11th chapter. All right, I got a few more scriptures I want to get and really hit this point, how Israel is only. That the Lord has really only dealing with Israel, and has always only dealt with Israel. Okay, as far as these laws, statutes, and commandments, salvation, the things that the whole book. Okay, the whole book in general. The Lord has always dealt with Israel. All right, the heathens come up, but the Lord ain't dealing with them. All right, there's no salvation for the heathens. All right, you go to I'm going to grab this in Second Ezra. I'm going to get this in Revelations, the 7th chapter, when it names all the tribes. All right, that the 144,000. It names all the tribes, and it goes to the multitude, the mass multitude, and that's talking about Israelites. So let me grab this back in Second Ezra 5, and I'm going to start at verse 23. And said the Lord, thou bearest rule over every wood of the earth, In all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee only one vine. In all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit. In all the flowers thereof, one lily. In all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river. And all the builded cities thou hast hollowed Zion unto thee. Who is Zion? Zion represents Israel. Okay? In all the fowls thou hast created, that thou hast named thee one dove, and all the cattle thou hast that all the cattle that are made thou hast provided thee one sheep. So it's showing that the Lord has favorites. Okay, and Israel is the Lord's portion. Israel is the Lord's favorite. Okay, and among all the multitude of the people thou hast gotten thee one people, and unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all. Okay, so the Lord said one people. The Lord's only dealing with one people. Okay, and like I said, that's the controversy with the 12 tribes chart. Oh, well, where are these people? Where are these people? Hey, the Lord's only dealing with Israel. That's plain. All right, and this is like that's what the Christians, that's what the world can't realize. Okay, they think the Lord, the God's not like that. God loves all people. Why did God create these people and these people just to destroy them? Hey, the Lord can do whatever the fuck He wants. All right. This is Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 17 and verse 17. For in the division of the nations of the whole earth, He set a ruler over every people, but Israel is the Lord's portion. That's plain. All right. Israel is the Lord don't give a shit about all the other kids. Okay. But the only cares about His kid. All right. And His kid is Yahawah. Okay. If you have kids and everybody's on the street is fucking up and breaking in houses and just acting niggas, okay? You don't really care about all the other ones. You care about your kids. What are your kids doing? Are your kids out there doing the same shit as them niggas? And then if they are, you're going to handle your kids. You ain't worried about everyone else's kids and what the hell they doing. That's how the Lord feels about Israel. All right? He's going to judge them. They're going to get theirs, but you Israelites are going to get jacked up because y'all niggas should know better. All right, and that's how the Lord feels. Okay, but back to the 12 tribes chart, because like I said, it's through the Spirit that High Priest Ariah put that together. Okay, and we believe that the chart is accurate through faith. Okay, we don't know what tribes we are, but through the Spirit we know that we are the children of Israel. Let me grab that. Romans 8 and 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. The Spirit beareth witness. Okay? And you look at the tribes, and like I said, you have to see things spiritually. Judah's the head tribe. All right? The so-called Negro, is the head, and if you guys, like I said, you got to have spiritual eyes to see it. You see everything that Judah does, it sets trends. Okay, Judah's the leader. All right, and the if you go down the tribes list, you'll see you can see things within the certain tribes that pertain to them. Ephraim is fruitful. Jake like to have a lot of kids. Okay, Issachar, what is it? He is for hire. All right, you don't know nobody that can outwork a so-called Mexican. Okay, Gad, what is it? A troop. Let me get it. But you have, like I said, you have to look at this in a spiritual mind. All right, and the Lord has to sup with you, and then you can see these things. Let me grab it. What is it? I just want to grab the one I quoted. Gad is a troop. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. All right. So you look at each tribe, and through the Spirit you can understand that these are these people today. Like how who is it? Simeon and Simeon and Levi, how they're on that same island. Okay, the so-called Haitians and the so-called Dominicans, and they hate each other. Okay, but that goes back to them getting revenge on that damn Hamite that slept, that slept with their sister Dinah, and they went and got revenge on that damn Hamite. Okay, so hey, that's the spirit. The Lord stuck them on that island together. Everything is spiritual. Okay, when you look at it, but the average nigga, all right, these people that walk by and they see the sign, they judge the sign and say this is off and this is off. They're not spiritual. All right, that's what it boils down to. It comes down to being spiritual and not spiritual. All right, the elect is going to see. All right, the elect is going to understand and really search out these things. All right, when you search and sincere, the Lord will sup with you. The Lord will open your eyes up to see, us to see these things. Okay. Oh damn! I wanted to grab Ezekiel 37. This is Ezekiel 37 and 15. The word of the Lord came unto me, saying, moreover, the Son of Man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and the children of Israel, his companions, and take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of the Israel and his companions. So that stick is talking about a plank. Okay, this is the 12 tribes chart. Ephraim represents the northern kingdom, the head of the northern kingdom, and Judah represents the head of the southern kingdom. Okay, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thy hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou show us what thou meanest by? Say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in thy hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellow, and will put them with them, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in my hand. And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thy hand before thy eyes. And this is the 12 tribes chart is important because this is what draws Jake in. All right, anytime a Jake come up to camp, they looking at that sign. Okay, you might have all these signs out of prophecy, the MOTB, but hey, Jake zeroes in on that sign. Okay, and they looking for their name. They looking here, they looking to the and these are the names, what they're called today, and hey, the prophets are there to explain and break things down for Jake. All right, because the closer and closer we get to the end of this, Jake is going to continue and begin to really inquire about this truth. Okay, because the events that are going to happen, that are happening, they're going to know this is not of man. This is of a higher power. This is the end times. And Jake is going to inquire heavily about this truth and what's going on. Verse 21. And say unto them, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and I will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mount of Israel. One king shall be king of them all, and they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore. This is talking about the kingdom. All right, we're coming together now. Okay, but in the kingdom, we're going to come together and we're not going to be divided. All right, we've been divided ever since after King Solomon's reign. All right, and that was over 2,000 years ago. Okay, so we're coming back together. All right, in that 12 tribes chart is one of the main devices that's bringing us back together. All right, because the curses were upon us heavy, where so-called blacks and so-called Latinos was always going at it, whether it be on some gang shit or they just didn't. They just had a hatred, okay, but those men that have come into the truth and realize that we're brothers. Hey, you put all that shit away. You understand that you understand the truth. You understand that we're under the curses, okay. So
that's I just there's a lot of controversy about the 12 tribes chart, and that's one thing that really stuck out of my mind, that people are upset, or people have a issue with it because they ain't on it, maybe, or they mama not on it, okay, or whatever, all right, because it's not open to everyone, okay, but the Lord's not dealing with everyone. He's only dealing with Israel, okay, and really right now he's only dealing with the remnant of Israel, all right, the elect, all right, the chosen nation, but he's dealing with the chosen within the chosen, okay. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the elect, and I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahawah Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Harakak Wadash. Until next time, I say Shalom.